Hey, good morning, Internet fans. It's Ryan Perry with Simple Biz Support. It is Wednesday morning, and as always, I have with me Sarah Giametti with ICT Marketing. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Yourself today?
Fabulous, thank you.
Fabulous. How are your legs feeling?
They're a little sore from the workout I've had the last couple days, but good. It's a good
Yeah.
sore.
So the husband had a birthday, and what was his birthday wish yesterday?
To go on a hike, and it turned out
Yes,
to
but
be
it
a
was
7-mile hike.
a nice, easy hike. That's how he conned you into going on this hike.
That is correct. It was an easy hike that was only 5 miles uphill.
Only 5 miles. Sounds like fun. Well, I'm glad you made it back okay, and you're sitting, so the legs should be okay.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Well, the last couple of weeks we spent a lot of time talking about Facebook and seeing how there's more to the social media than just Facebook. We decided to talk about Twitter today because Twitter has made some changes. And so why don't we go quickly into some of the upcoming changes that are going on. We talked briefly that you're going to need a new banner image because the layout's completely changed. But you said they're also putting a little bit more emphasis on images and videos in the feed.
That's correct. So over the last year or so, they've started slowly increasing the visibility of photos and videos, and Instagram really was their not influence. They were influenced by Instagram, that they wanted to have videos and photos stand out, be able to be seen more often. You'll see this more on the computer than the apps. The apps haven't quite caught up with that yet. But when you go on the computer through your browser, you're going to see that photos and videos really stand out, so they're easy for you to see and play and interact with them really quickly.
Okay, and just real quickly, when you say apps, I'm assuming you're talking about smartphones, tablets.
Correct. So the smartphone, tablet, Twitter apps haven't been updated yet, but there have been some sneak previews of what it's going to look like, and it's pretty much going to mirror what you're seeing in your web browsers.
All right, very good. So we know right now, one thing, if you don't have a branded Twitter page and you're a business owner, you should have one. Make sure that branded image is the new design with the big banner across the top and with an ongoing emphasis with pictures and video on Twitter. Now you can actually engage in I don't want to say like Facebook, because Facebook's always been very strong around pictures and video because Twitter is a different market. However, there's a better opportunity to engage because the videos and pictures are going to be more prevalent on the feed.
That's correct. So people will be able to, like, that was one of my biggest complaints, was I didn't really want to click a link to go look at a picture. And so I'm actually really liking this because it's just right there in the feed for me, that if I want to see the picture, it's there for me. If I want to play the video, it's just right there for me. I don't have to click a link and go somewhere else. So it actually will make even me engage a lot more with the stuff that's in my news feed. So I think it's a really great improvement for businesses and for Twitter and for businesses to take advantage of.
All right, great. And while we're on Twitter, I think a lot of people, business owners, especially small business owners, that's our target market, people with a couple of employees, is they really don't know how to use Twitter and how to engage on Twitter, because if you just simply create a new Twitter account and you start talking and you start tweeting, people aren't really going to know that you exist because they're not following you. And I think one of the things that people don't realize, and it took me, gosh, it probably took me a couple years to really understand the power of Twitter in this regards, is research. And the fact that you can do some really great research on people, because anybody who's in social media will tell you the very first thing you need to do in social media is listen. And the other thing that you need to do is you need to find out where your audience is playing, or where they're at, I should say, where they located. It's kind of like if you moved into a new city and you love to play soccer, you're not just going to randomly go out and start talking to people and say, a place where people congregate and where they actually play soccer, and then show up and listen and engage with people until you build a reputation, and then it becomes a two-way conversation. So how do we do that on Twitter?
Twitter is a great research tool. Every small business should be on Twitter, and they should use it for, you can research what your competition is doing. Who are they talking to? What groups are they in? You can look at the lists that they belong to. You can also see where your target audience, where they're hanging out and talking to. And so let's do a quick screen share here, if I can get it to come up. So here's my Twitter account, and what you can do are, there's a couple different things. One, if you're looking at what your competition is doing, you can go to, if you should know who your competition is, and you can go to their profile and immediately look right at the top under the cover image. You can see right here the more, and you drop down and you can click on lists. And you can see if they are following any lists. We don't here. I do on my personal Twitter account. But right here, it would list if they're a member of any lists that they're following. And this would tell you what news and information that they're consuming, so that you can look and see if that would be appropriate for you to consume as well. You can do this the same as your audience, because everybody's profile on Twitter is public knowledge. And so if you know some of who your target audience is, who you want your competition, or not competition, who you want your clients to be, you can look at this information as well. But you can also use the search term. Use the search bar not to just search for people, but search for things. And so you can do things like dentist near Santa Rosa, California, and it'll come up with people that fit that search criteria. So it's a really great way to see if you're looking for a specific topic, specific industry of people, to see who's on here. I use this to locate, since we help small businesses with social media, I use a search tool like this to see who's near me who may need some help with their Twitter. And that gives me an idea of people to ask to get introduced to see if I can help them.
All right, and I think the other thing that's really cool, and I'm going to see if I can switch over back to your screen share as I'm talking, is if you are a dentist, as an example, one of the ways that you can actually engage with people is do a search. So what was typed in the search bar in the upper center right area is dentist near : and then without a space, type in the city or just the zip code. So you could actually type in dentist space near : 95401 as an example. And what it's going to do, Twitter is going to go out and it's going to find users that have stated that they're in the Santa Rosa area, 95410 area. And if it has any tweet related to dentist, it will show that in a feed. Now what's cool about this, imagine if you're a new dentist in town and you want to start engaging with people, building a rapport, getting some visibility out there, not selling, but engaging. As you're going through, you might actually read something from a local person who's like, oh, I'm so scared of going to the dentist. And as a dentist yourself, what you may do is reply to them and maybe link an article about sedation dentistry or 10 ways to relax or something like that. And now you're presenting yourself as a friend versus, oh, well, don't go to that dentist because you're scared. Come to me. I'm a better dentist. Now we're selling ourselves, and that's going to be a big turnoff. And I think from a search point of view, as business owners, if you think about your business, and a lot of business you get from networking functions where you're just simply engaging in social conversation, you're not necessarily talking about business. And how can you take that same social, personal engagement and take it online and still have the same effect in that digital market? And I think there's a lot of disconnect from people that go, oh, because I'm online, I'm digital, I should behave differently. And no, it's not the case. It's just like going to a party and maybe there's 100 people or 1,000 people at this party and you know none of them because you're brand new to Twitter. How would you engage in those people in a face-to-face, one-on-one interaction the first time? The same social rules apply online.
Totally true, Ryan, that people think they should be different on social media, and they really shouldn't be. And so you don't want to use this research tool in order to jump in and sell yourself. This is a great way you use it for research, for listening. A great example is I had tweeted something not quite positive about a company that I was dealing with, and their competition, it's a great opportunity for their competition to chime in, not by selling themselves, but just to commiserate. So, if I'm putting out something kind of negative, their competition will be like, oh, I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. Let us know if we can help you with anything. It was a great opportunity for somebody else to come in and make a person feel better while not selling themselves. And so it's kind of that commiserating, creating that relationship. So it's a great listening tool to see what people are saying. So you can do not just looking for an industry or your clients or anything like that. You could also use this to look for keywords. And so this plays into Ryan's area of SEO, where take the keywords that you are operating off of. You can use Twitter to look for that, to see who's tweeting about that. Are there people that are tweeting negative things where it's an opportunity for you to join in and have a conversation with them? But have a conversation, not sell yourself.
Yeah, why don't you give us, let's use an example, and let's use somebody that we know is a very large company, a Ford, a Coke, a Southwest, something like that, so that we know we're going to get multiple results.
Let's see. So I did Pepsi near Santa Rosa, California, just because I wanted to keep it local to us. But now I can look and see, I've got all this information of, so if I worked for Coca-Cola, I could be tracking what people are saying about Pepsi, and I can step in and join the conversation without selling myself.
And actually take a look just underneath the picture, look at Anthony Navarez.
Right, Pepsi is nowhere near the level of Coke. This is a great opportunity for Coke to jump in and say, hey, we're so glad you love us, something, and join the conversation, and then this guy feels special because Coke is responding to him, who's a big corporation, and Coke gets to join in the conversation and be part of it that his followers are going to see. And so it's a really great opportunity.
Yeah, and I think the social, like you said, geez, being recognized as individuals, we love to be recognized, and especially if you're a fan of a brand, or it doesn't even, if we go back to small business, it doesn't have to be a national brand. It could be, geez, I'm a fan of this construction company, or I'm a fan of this restaurant. And what if you had sent a tweet that you had a great dinner at XYZ restaurant, and then later that night or the following day, they thanked you? Or, a competition came in and said, oh my gosh, for Mexican food, we love that. Maybe they're an Italian restaurant commenting on a Mexican, so there's not a direct competition there, because people like different types of food. Anyhow, it's a huge opportunity there to really build an emotional connection with people that selling just doesn't have. And we've got about 2 minutes left, so if you've got any follow-up on that, plus we also need an action challenge for the day related to search.
Right, so I would just say I would totally agree. It's a great opportunity for small businesses to further that relationship with somebody by responding to the people who are tweeting about them, and for a complimentary, not quite competition. So like you said, the two different styles of restaurants, a great opportunity for them to jump in and get their name out there to these people that obviously like good restaurants. So definitely it's a great opportunity that a lot of small businesses are missing on. So the action challenge for this week is to use lists to find out where your audience are. So do some research on Twitter, hop on there, play with the search bar, go look at where your competition, what lists they're a part of, who you think your target market is, look and see what lists they're on and see if any of those are appropriate for you to be a part of, and follow them.
Yeah, and not only follow, but also spend a little time and engage with people.
Absolutely. Yeah, join the list and be a part of the list, actually be part of the conversation and be part of the interaction, so that people, that's the best way to get your name out there is to be part of it.
All right. Wonderful, Sarah. Well, our time is up. As always, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy week to do this Google Live Hangout with me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and we will talk next week.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Ryan.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.